And let me ask you something. How is it that you're still thinking about them? Still replaying moments? Still trying to make sense of it? And they've already moved on like nothing happened? New person, new energy, new everything, like you were just a phase. That messes with your head because now you're not just dealing with a breakup. You're dealing with a question that hits way deeper. Why was it so easy for them, but not for me? Here's the truth most people won't tell you. They didn't move on as fast as it looks. They just detached earlier than you did. While you were still fully in it, still investing, still believing in what you had, they were already pulling back, mentally checking out, creating distance before anything officially ended. So when it finally ended for you, that was the beginning of your pain. But for them, it was the end of a process that had already started. That's why it feels so uneven. You're starting at zero. They've already been preparing. But that's only part of it. Here's where it gets deeper. You're not just struggling to move on from them. You're struggling to let go of the version of them you had in your head. The version that cared more, stayed longer, chose you the way you chose them. Because in your mind, it wasn't supposed to end like that. There was still potential, still what if, still something that felt unfinished. But they already accepted that version wasn't real, so they let it go faster. And here's something that might hurt a little. Sometimes people move on fast, not because you meant nothing, but because they don't sit with their emotions. They distract, they replace, they fill the gap instead of facing it. So from the outside, it looks like they're fine. But in reality, they just avoided the part you're actually going through. And you're feeling everything. No distractions, no shortcuts. Just the truth of what it was and what it isn't anymore. And yeah, that's painful, but it's also something most people run from. Because feeling it means accepting it's over, letting go of what you hoped it could be, and facing the version of life without them. That's not easy, but it's real. So while it looks like they're ahead, in a way, you're doing something harder. You're actually processing it. And that's why you're still thinking about them. Not because you're weak, not because you can't move on, but because you were fully there. And people who are fully there don't detach overnight. So instead of asking, why did they move on so fast? Ask something better. Why did I care this deeply? And what does that say about me? Because one day, you're not going to care the same way you do right now. Not because you forced it, but because you understood it. And when that happens, you won't be the one left behind anymore. You'll just be someone who finally let go of someone who already did.